Hello, I'm Jo Motts, and I've had a lifelong love affair with embroidery. The gift of embroidery was handed down to me by my grandmother and my mum. Grandma made all the beautiful lace for the Catholic Church out at Temuka, and over the years it's been lost. My cousin Bernadette and I are desperate to try and track it down just to see how beautiful it was. I started stitching when I was 5, learning sack work at school with thick wool and a big fat needle. It wasn't long before I was making clothes for my dolls. Dad was working on the harbour board, and he fished this dear little funny looking teddy bear out of the sea and brought him home to me. I named him Softy, and he quickly became the best dressed teddy in Timaru. I made a full range of girls' clothes for him and even sewed wool onto his head in place of hair. The wardrobe I made out of an old cardboard box with a metal rod stuck through it, and made curtains of pink winsette. Mum taught me how to smock, and later I loved smocking my 4 little girls' dresses. I still remember the first major piece of embroidery I made. I was ill with glandular fever and couldn't go to work, so I stayed home with Mum, and she showed me how to embroider. They were red poppies on a beautiful piece of Irish linen. Throughout my marriage, I always had some embroidery on the go. In between making the clothes for my 4 daughters, I spent many hours sewing and embroidering ballet costumes for them. I don't know how I did it, because those days were so full of raising the girls and running our corner shop. But somehow I managed to find the time to squeeze in the occasional embroidered piece.
How did you come to discover ribbon embroidery?
I was sitting in a restaurant in Melbourne, and these women alongside us were having a wee tea party, and somebody gave the party girl a gift, and it was a piece of ribbon embroidery. I could not believe my eyes. I just had to find out more about it. So they kindly told me, and immediately took off and went to look for an embroidery shop.
Oh, that's fabulous. All right. So, and did you find one?
I found this embroidery shop way out in the wop-wops of Melbourne. It was an underdeveloped sort of town, and so was the person teaching it. But anyhow, I did my little piece, and not long after that we returned to Christchurch. My husband died, so I came back to Christchurch, and actually found a course done by Marilyn Hazelwood in Christchurch. That was the ribbon embroidery, and I joined the group, and it was lovely. That was early days of ribbon embroidery, and I must say that it has absolutely gone ahead since then.
So, Mum, everybody always seems to be asking you about ribbon roses. What are you going to tell me about those?
Well, lots of people have asked me, and I bring them in home, and we sit around our table and I try and teach them. I've been out to Temuka to teach the ladies at Temuka. We've made little boxes, round boxes with ribbon roses on them, and they're very proud of them, and rightly so. They're lovely. It was a lovely meeting out at Temuka. It's just gorgeous. The women were so nice. I've taught them at our Timaru Embroiderers Guild too. It's Aoraki Embroiderers Guild, and we've had lots of fun there, trying to get the ribbon to go the right way.
I remember the first hat box that you made. It was made of white Dupion silk, and it had pink roses on it. Do you want to tell me?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, I was thrilled with that. Bit nervous, and it was a big hat box, so I lined it with, I think, pink satin. Had the outside of white Dupion, and the lid I padded with the Dupion and had ribbon roses on it, and I tell you what, we sold lots and lots of tickets on that raffle. and everyone wanted to win it. I don't know who won it in the end, but it was apparently a little prize, you know, here.
Yeah, quite a prize to get that.
Mm.
I know one of the feathers in your cap was the cushion that the Lady Mary's bought. Tell me about that.
And I was rather thrilled with that and very honoured that the Lady Mary's bought it because she has fabulous taste. It was a lovely blue damask and it had pink and cream flowers on it.
So, Mum, where do you get your inspiration from?
Well, I have some lovely garden books and I flick through those often. I have beautiful embroidery books and I have a fabulous range of ribbon. So I just seem to be able to marry them together. I just love it. It's just so creative and exhilarating.
You've done some courses in the past, some embroidery courses. Who were they with?
Well, very many years ago, I did a course with Marilyn Hazelwood in Christchurch. Thoroughly enjoyed that. And also, Helen Stevens came from England. What a gorgeous little, sweet, pretty woman. And so helpful. It was a lovely course. I thoroughly enjoyed it and I'm very proud of the piece I have made.
So, what are your ambitions now as far as your embroidery goes, Mum?
Well, I would dearly love to have a lesson with Alison Cole and Catherine Howell. I met Catherine Howell a couple or 3 years ago at a dear little embroidery shop in Brighton. She actually was helping serve me and I realised who she was. I was over the moon. She was just so delightful. She invited me to a class the next morning and it took me about 6 trains or so to get there, but I got there and what a lovely crowd of women. They made me feel so at home, and that's what all embroidery is all about, I think, is meeting other people and having a lovely chinwag with them. One girl there was an opera singer and I just seemed to click with her. She was a lovely girl and she sang a beautiful aria. Oh, I was in 7th heaven. It was just lovely. But I had fun in that shop.